Alright, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all my committee members. So today we will be starting our meeting at 9 a.m. on 17th of February 2025. Before we start with our meeting, let's recite a little prayer. Alright, so for today's meeting, before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Indiana Adritan and I will be your chairperson for today. And we have received 2 absentees for today's meeting. The number 1 absentee will be Mr. Muhammad Adam Shahrul, as he will be taking a sick leave for this whole week. And the second absentee is Miss Mariana Abdullah, as she has some outside business to attend to on behalf of our company. Alright, they've both apologized for not being able to join our meeting for today, but I'm sure that we can achieve our agenda and have an effective meeting together. Okay, so before we get to today's business, I would like to ask our secretary to please recap the last minutes of the previous meeting. Okay?
Okay, greetings everyone. Let's move on to the next agenda, which is I will now recap the minutes of previous meeting. So to begin with, on the last meeting, the committee had planned a farewell dinner for Mr. Shahri Ahmad, as he was due to retire last January. To show our utmost gratitude and appreciation for his service, our committee had organized an appreciation dinner on the 14th of January from 8 p.m. until 10 p.m. So the details of the event were discussed in the previous meeting to set up the budget allocation and decide on a venue. So our head of finance, Ms. Shawani, had set aside a budget of 10,000 ringgit to cover the cost of the buffet, venue rental, and a special token of appreciation for our Mr. Shahri Ahmad. And we have Ms. Nura Ashikin, who had assisted us to book the venue for the night at the Hilton Hotel and make sure that the seating arrangements were enough for everyone who attended. So I have made sure to take notes of the matters discussed from the previous meeting in the minutes of the meetings.
I would like to propose for the previous minute of meeting to be verified. I seconded your proposal.
Alright, thank you very much to our secretary. So now let's begin to discuss the matters that arise during our previous meeting. So I will be briefing you on the first issue. So Ms. Marisa, our secretary, gave details on an issue that happened among our employees lately. They have been implementing the culture of overtime work, which is where they will be staying past their working time until late at night. This has been a rising trend amongst our employees, and it has been a concerning issue, as we would like our employees to finish work inside of the working hours, and also to not bring home their task and finish it efficiently inside the working hours. We also want our employees to take care of their well-being and their mental health. Therefore, we have assigned the Human Resource Department to take care of this issue. And Ms. Tasnim, our Human Resource, will be briefing the employees again about our working policies. As you all know, our company does not entertain payment for overtime work, as we do not want to burden our employees, and it has been stipulated in each of the employees' contracts. Therefore, even if the policy itself has been stated in the contract and also has been briefed to the employees before they started their work, they might have missed this memo. So with the briefing, it can help them to understand that this is our policy and it will not be changed anytime soon. So I hope that the Human Resource Department will be on top of this task, and they will need to gain an approval from the Ministry of Human Resources before they proceed with that briefing. All right, now we move on to the second problem. I give it to the secretary.
Okay. Another problem that occurred that other than the one that has been mentioned by our Miss Indiana. So we have recently received a complaint from our head of finance, Miss Shawani, that the facilities in the supply room have not been working well. This is because the equipments that we have, such as the printer and desktops, had some technical issues. Like for the printer, the ink cartridge have not been changed consistently due to the insufficient stock in our stocking room. So this condition is burdening our employees as they are not able to print out their documents and submit important proposals directly since they have to opt for printing services outside of the office. Moreover, the desktop that our company have provided many years ago were found very outdated and could not support certain website at the moment. So, Ms. Nur Ashikin, our operational manager, had overseen these issues and worked on providing desktop for the ink cartridges to be put in the stockroom so that these facilities can be used without any problem. Also, Ms. Shawani, our head of finance, had set aside some fund to purchase new desktop to keep up with modern time and to maintain our task efficiency so that we can facilitate our employees and interns as well.
All right. I hope that everybody has been briefed properly with the matters that arise from the last meeting. So now that we have recap on the last minutes of meeting, let's talk about today's special business. So today I would like to talk to you about generating new ideas for possible benefits that we could give to our interns. As you know, this session will be our session where we take on new interns on board our company. But from the last statistics from the last session, we have found that not many interns are quite motivated to come to work and to have their tasks be done efficiently. This is because they are simply becoming demotivated because they do not achieve that many benefits in our company. Moreover, it has caused a concern for our company because we have other rival companies who are opening the internship positions as well. This might cause the new students or graduates who will be sitting for their intern placement to not want to choose our company as we do not have much to offer them. So we have to handle this issue before it gets too worse. Therefore, I would like my committee members to please think of efficient ways for us to give benefits and offer these benefits to interns so that they will feel interested, more comfortable to come to work, and handle their tasks with more efficiency. All right, I open the floor to you.
I would like to suggest for us to implement lunch and transport allowances for our interns. These perks are quite common in many industries and will not only help to ease the burdens of the interns that they face, but also serve as a strong incentive to draw more candidates to our internship program. For instance, a transport allowance could make it easier for interns to get to work, particularly for those who may be traveling from far, and a lunch allowance will not only benefit them personally but also create an environment where they feel valued and cared for.
Um, I think I agree with Ms. Shawani idea because at least transportation fees and meal allowance would be very beneficial. However, I think instead of giving lunch allowance, I think it's better for us to stock up our office pantry instead because that way we can reduce the cost, to give the lunch allowance since nowadays meals is not um, something that um, cheap. It's very expensive just to eat. Even you eat at just simple restaurant or something like that. So maybe we can stock up our pantry, because that way, people who are working in the office, they can snacking, have some snack without actually have to commute or go outside from the office. That's from me.
I agree with Miss Marisa. And also regarding for the transportation allowance, maybe instead of giving them allowance for the transportations, as we all know, for many companies they have adapted hybrid work models. So maybe we can implement remote work maybe around twice a week to help reduce the transportation expenses in our company. So with that we can reduce the cost and to cut costs in the transportation allowance. So we can implement the when we say remote working, work from home. To reduce the cost.
Also, I kind of wonder, since we have cut costs from if we plan to execute stocking up our pantry instead of giving lunch allowance, is it possible for us to give a gym allowance for our interns? Because from my research, if you want to give them a gym allowance, it's gonna cost us only 80 ringgit. From what I have found, that is like the cheapest one, because I think nowadays interns, they are more attracted to gym allowance and such things, because most people are now opt for the gym because they simply like to be proactive by going to the gym. What do you guys think?
I'm sorry, Miss Marisa. I don't think that a very good idea. We know that like 3 ringgit and 100 is quite expensive for one person. We need to know how many internet we take. It's gonna take a lot of money of our financial, and we know that the tool for the gym is not, it's not so cheap. It's really expensive, and it have many hidden costs like sign up fee, cancellation fee, and mandatory contract. And the worst scenario that we need to do a maintenance every month, maybe if there anything happened there. And yeah, it's a very difficult and it's very financial draining for our company. Yeah, and one more, and we know that people nowadays like to go to their home straight away, clock out. And yeah, I don't think that they have so many time to go to the gym because they already have a lot of work to do. That's from my point of view.
All right. Those were very good ideas, but I would like to talk about the stock up the pantry from Miss Marisa, is it? And how much allocation would you say we need to set aside for the stock up pantry idea?
Um, in my opinion, I think we may need for weekly. Maybe it's gonna cost us around 100 ringgit or less, but it depends on how many people are actually come to the pantry and use it, and stock up things. But I think 100 ringgit will be efficient and sufficient enough.
That is true because 100 ringgit will be to cover all of the interns and not just one person. And I do agree with Miss Ashikin, as the gym pass would be quite costly for just one head. To pay for that kind of pass for just one intern itself would be quite expensive. Okay, that's good. And do we have any other ideas instead of allowances and things like that?
Um, I do have uh, an idea for the interns. I would suggest if we could do uh, regular training for interns so that they can have a little bit exposure of our company and also their works. It is essential as they can know more skills from the mentors or supervisors of their department from the training session.
I would like to add on this Miss Tasnim's idea. The thing is that I see where your point coming from, but I have my concerns as a head of finance because firstly, while the idea of providing additional trainings and learning opportunity for interns are very good insights, but we do have to consider whether it's truly cost effective right now. The resources required to organize and execute these workshops, whether it's paying for external facilitators or investing time and effort into preparing materials, could take away our ability to allocate funds when they are most needed. Second of all, we also need to think about the impact on our current team members. A lot of people who would be running these workshops are already stretched thin with their regular responsibilities. Adding the responsibility of training interns could lead to burnout or divert their focus from their core tasks. This may negatively impact onto their overall productivity, and this is not what we want to our team members.
Um, I completely agree with Ms. Shawani. When it comes to our employee time management and all that, since we don't have much time to actually pay attention to our interns. However, I'm also interested with Ms. Tasnim idea. Therefore, I think to execute a regular training for interns, I think it would be better if we just implement this for interns who just come to our company. Maybe for the first 2 weeks we can do the trainings for them, but after that we can leave them, to work just like every day. And if they have something to discuss or they have any question, then they can come to the department in which they can refer to. That's all from me.
All right, that was a very good idea. And I do agree with Miss Marisa's idea for the training session. It can be done during the first time that the interns come on board our company, and so that it will not hinder their working process. All right, so that was a good planning. And do we have any other ideas on board?
I do have. I would like to suggest for our company to organize a bonding session, such for example, like a family day, maybe like once a year, to strengthen the bond between the interns and the employees. Maybe with this we can boost the engagement and also the teamwork among interns and the employees in our company. So maybe we can manage the cost wisely. Maybe this could be possible for us to attract the interns to to give them the benefits, like work not only to do their work in our company, but to also spend their time with other employees as well.
For me, I think it's much better not to do that because we need to cut costs because family day is gonna be expensive and a lot of money of our company. And maybe I'm suggest to setting up the leisure space that already exists in our office, which is we can go with the beanbag, game console, board game, which is that when they have the break time and downtime, they can go together and we can see that they can play together. So that's thing that can avoid the awkwardness between the intern and the senior of the worker there. And yeah, it's gonna be a very relax and comfortable for them. I think that. May I know about the budget allocation about that bonding session, Ms. Shawani?
Okay, so regarding the bonding session, I do understand that we wanted to strengthen the bond and getting to know each other and whatnot. But I would say that it's not the most cost effective to do it at the moment. Technically, we used to do bonding session annually, and I think to wait for every term of interns coming in, which is twice a year, and to do a bonding session every twice a year could be a little too expensive and too much for our budget. Therefore, if that's the case, we could just make a welcome session for interns for every term. For example, we have two terms of interns, which is the January intake and also the July intake. So if that's the case, we could just make a welcome session for every term to welcome them, for example, to just have like lunch together or dinner together to make them feel welcome and get to know of the employees available, of all other team members. I think that is more cost effective and to cover up, because right now I'm not really sure about bonding sessions and all that.
I completely support the idea that Ms. Shawani has presented, and also I am interested with our Ms. Nur Ashikin ideas about the invitation to smaller the scope of the bonding by playing sport and other small activities, so that we can still bond with our interns, not only by without having to plan for a big occasion like family day and all that.
Okay, I thought that was an astounding idea. And do we have anything more to add for this type of idea?
Yes, for me, that I would like to offer the flexible job scope for our new intern, because we know that we don't know the potential yet about our intern. Maybe they apply for marketing, and maybe they have potential for the finance. Because we don't know much about their skill yet, right? And then flexible job scope that allow them to gain hands-on experience in various roles, that rather than being confined to a single repetitive task. And yeah, this exposure help them to develop a diverse skill set and improving adaptability with the other work. And yeah, maybe they can know more about the problem solving ability and so on, and they have the confidence more in that work that they know. That's for me.
I completely agree with Ms. Shikin's idea. I think that is a very good way to attract our interns, because it will encourage them to think outside of the box and be creative, to try out what they want, to learn as much as they can.
All right, so we've talked about various ideas that I think are excellent from my committee members. Thank you so much for the effective discussion. However, now can I open a voting session so that we can decide amongst all of the ideas which one would be the most effective to give the benefit to our interns? All right. So the first one would be to stock up the office pantry. All right, we have 3. Regular training session for interns. All right, we have 2. A bonding session for interns. All right, it is not favored. And the last one would be to offer our interns a flexible job scope. Okay, I see that we have the winner. So for the most effective way to offer a benefit for our interns will be to offer them a flexible job scopes. Perhaps for the second option, we can opt to stock up the office pantry to give them another benefit to look forward to. Alright, now we close our special business. Thank you all for participating. And now I would like to ask if there are any other business to discuss about. I open the floor to you.
For me, I want to speak about the prayer room at our office, that there is a leaking there and it's not very comfortable for us to pray. And yeah, there is the molding and it's not very clean. As I can see that the cleaner not go do their work very regularly. That's for me. I want to add more that the air conditioner is also not working properly. Thank you.
Yes, I have. I agree with Miss Nur Ashiki because I have also encountered that problem too whenever I go to the prayer room. I also want to add on our water filter, Kuwait, is not regularly maintained because I see that the water cooler is oftenly break down and there's always not enough water. So most employees and interns cannot use it. So yeah.
Alright, so for the air conditioning, I hope that our operational manager, Ms. Ashikin, can take a look at what has been going on with the air conditioner. And for the janitors, perhaps our human resource can find out why they haven't been doing their tasks efficiently until it has caused molding to happen in our toilets. Okay, any other business so far?
I think regarding the prayer rooms and also from what I have observed, so I have noticed that in our restroom and also in our prayer rooms, especially for the female employees and also the interns, we do not have enough sanitary supplies like sanitary pads and also other things that maybe that we can provide in our restroom and in our prayer room. So maybe we can start provide all the sanitary supplies in there so that it could be easy for the employees and also for the interns.
Alright, so for that matter, I hope that our Head of Finance, Ms. Shawani, will take a look to allocate a certain budget to make sure that the sanitary supplies will be fully stocked for the female washroom and the prayers room. Alright, and for that, we have ended our other business discussion. So please take note, for my committee members, our next week meeting will be held on the 3rd of March 2025, usual time 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. And it will be held at the Rafflesia meeting room. And so for that, I will close today's meeting. Thank you so much for coming to all my committee members. And we adjourn today's meeting at 12 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Milena.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, all.